Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Addis, psychotherapist, supervisor and trainer and managing director of Peel's Psychological Consultancy, a private counselling and psychotherapy centre in Gosforth, Newcastle upon Tyne. Today we're going to look at the second part of our engagement model, which is N. N stands for notice and name. When we feel stressed and anxious and overwhelmed and out of control, as many of us are feeling today, it's very common for a lot of us to block out, consciously and unconsciously, certain thoughts, feelings and behaviours. This is because on the one hand, we're programmed to avoid things that don't feel good. It kept us safe in the wild. But on the other hand, many of us have grown up in families where there have been certain verbal and non-verbal messages around the do's and don'ts in life, yeah? Whether it's okay to say, I'm feeling sad or I'm scared, or whether or not we grew up in a household where the mantra was very much, be okay, everything's all right. That's part of our British culture for many of us too, that kind of stiff upper lip. But when we suppress thoughts and feelings and we don't acknowledge certain behaviours, they don't go away. And what happens often is that particularly those feelings and thoughts and behaviours that are more scary, perhaps more judgmental or harsh, well, they reside within us, and of course over a certain period of time they will build and they'll build, and eventually usually something quite unrelated kind of releases the pressure cooker, and those feelings and thoughts and behaviours that we've not addressed come flooding to the surface. And that's why often when I see clients in private practice, they will say to me, I'm feeling really bad, but it doesn't really make sense because what's happened is not that difficult or that bad, but I just feel really, awful about it. And that's because whatever's happening here and now is piggybacking on top of those feelings and emotions, particularly that we've repressed. So we're going to notice and name. Yeah, and what we're noticing and name here, as the sign, if you can see, says we're going to notice and name those thoughts, and we're going to ask ourselves, do they really belong to me? Is this really what I think? We're going to try and notice and name the feelings, yeah? And when we notice them, we're going to try and name them. Am I sad? Am I happy? Do I feel angry or am I scared? And then we're going to look at our actions, yeah? And we're going to try and notice and name those actions and ask ourselves, are they helpful or are they unhelpful? Because what we know is if we notice it and we name it, we free it. We don't get trapped by the old stuff, and we can look more in the moment, here and now, more analytically at what's really happening. So practice that today. Notice and name. Notice and name it and free it. Thank you. Bye-bye.